Blue Ox Productions presents Ural handlebar mounting modification. Well, many people aren't 100% comfortable with the way the bars are swept or mounted. I know personally, if especially on long rides, I get kind of a pain a little bit in my back left shoulder, and part of it might have to be with the way you kind of have to lean forward and the way your arms are set. Some people have put new handlebars on the bike. With the newer models, they come with the standard size handlebar mounting. I'm not exactly sure what year they changed this to. I know on my 2006 models they didn't have this style. They had the older one-piece Russian style clamps. But what I did was I bought these risers off of somebody on ADV Rider, and so they can do a couple of things. First of all, when you put the riser on the base part here, it increases the bar height off of the stems by 7/8 of an inch. So from the bottom of the U there to the bottom of that mount is 7/8 of an inch. You can use these to either these two holes mount in these two holes right there, and mounted in that location, it'll set the handlebars back. It'll set them back. You could also take it and mount it like that if you want to set your handlebars forward, which is not exactly what I want to do. So setting the handlebars back, you have two options to do it. You can mount that there, and that sets the handlebar back 5/8 of an inch. Or you can rotate these like that, and it sets it back an inch. So I'm going to mount these on there, and I'm going to initially mount them to where it sets the handlebar back 5/8 of an inch, and I'll ride it for a couple of weeks and see how that goes. So before I got too far into this, putting the risers on, one of the first things I did was kind of mark my bars on the center of the thing so I know exactly where they were when I started. So the first thing I'll do is put the risers on, and I'll ride for a couple of weeks if I need to tweak the up or down of the handlebar. But I want to make sure I get the bars in the same position when I put the risers on, and give me a starting point to figure out where to go from there. So I have the bases on. Just a couple of notes. The kit came with 4 bolts to mount the base on. These two here are shorter, these two here are longer, and that makes kind of sense because there's a recessed hole and you want to make sure that this sits all the way down inside the recessed hole. And if you go from the side, you want the longer bolt to make it all the way through there and mount into there. Just a couple of notes, because this one is kind of blind and the other mounts are going to sit on top of it, I put some blue Loctite on all those bolts to make sure that they don't come loose. One thing that I noticed, and a bolt I haven't checked since I bought the Ural, is that all 4 of these on the stock handlebars were pretty loose. So I don't want them coming loose. So I got the bases on. Now I'm going to put the rest of it together and put the handlebars back on. So here they are all installed. When I put these bolts in, I did not put blue Loctite on them. I want to ride it and make sure I'm comfortable with the position, if I need to rotate them up or down, or maybe I want to move this to where there's more than a 5/8 of an inch to an inch back. But just sitting on the bike, they feel pretty comfortable. A couple other things I did to also is that I checked the cable tension and everything before I put these on, because I wanted to make sure I didn't have to adjust any cables, and I didn't have to. So I did look at the clutch cable, and as you can see, it didn't really change the the routing of that. Here's my cylinder head temperature cable, and I have plenty of room in that. Matter of fact, I could pull out a little bit more if I need to, but that's plenty. Then you also have to check your throttle cable, your cable going to your right switch gear, and your brake line cable, and had plenty of as well. So I'll ride it for a couple of weeks and see how it feels.